time is currently 5:39 p.m. We'll have the attendance done by Council Member Plessy. Thank you.
Junior Council Mayor Eliason.
Here.
Junior Council Member Pajosa.
Here.
Junior Mayor Allen.
Here.
Junior Council Member Elclear. Junior Manager Jefferson Noel.
Here.
Your Honor, we have
Here.
a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be done by Dumel Janit, North Miami Police Department. Thank you.
Please place your right hand over your heart and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republics for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Continue standing. The invocation will be done by Ms. Peggy Boulay. Thank you.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we come to you today with bowed heads and humble hearts, God. We're asking that you watch over these wonderful students as they lead us into the 21st century, God. We ask that everything that is shared with the community today is used for good use and for the progression of this community. We ask that you cover everyone in this room in their coming and in their going, and for the continual progression of this community. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Everyone, please be seated. There are no special presentations, nor are there any junior council events. Thank you. Junior Council Manager Noel, are there any deletions, additions to the agenda?
No, there are not.
Consider this agenda set. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, is it possible to allow me just 2 minutes to make a special remark?
Yes, sir. We are recognizing Mayor Smith-Joseph.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor and junior council members. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be heard. I just wanted to notice something earlier. I know we have a special guest that we're expecting before we conduct our meeting. I just wanted to let you know that when you have a meeting set for a certain time, because you have to be respectful to the people who get here early, so they should not have to wait for your guests who happen to be late. So your meeting starts at a certain time, you start at that time and you wait for them. And if you want, before you start the actual items that you would want to entertain your guests with, you can always push them back, because when you make your agenda, I don't know if you've seen in the past, if we have certain items, you have items from A through Q, R, S. You can always, when you start the meeting, you can ask the manager or the clerk, not ask, you can pretty much make the request that you would like to push, even flip some other items. And so you can, if you are waiting for other people to discuss the items. But just waiting 5, 10, 20 minutes, for the guests to arrive, that's not, the way it goes. You would continue, you would start your meeting on time, not just for the guests, for the people who are waiting and people who may be watching online. And also it's just that's the proper decorum. That's the term. The proper decorum is to try to start on time as much as possible. To that end, let's say, for example, we have certain sessions, like special sessions. Sometimes we call them executive sessions. That's when the city has certain cases, legal cases in the courts, and they are negotiating with the other party. Or they may get to a stage, they getting ready to reach an agreement. So the attorney may call a special session. But when you call a special session to be started at a certain time, you can't especially if the stenographer is here and everybody who's important, if they are here, the meeting has to start. And one of the instances, because these are mandated by the state. These are not laws that are mandated by the local government. It is mandated by the state. There are certain meetings that you have to have. You can't start it not even 1 or 2 minutes, after time. Otherwise, the CD may even be cited for that. I just wanted to let you know that, just a point of information. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right. Councilmember Noel, tab A.
Tab A, proposed resolution of the junior mayor and the city's junior council of the city of North Miami, Florida, requesting to enact a drug and vaping awareness event that the city can hold every month for 2 hours. This can be held in a community room where a volunteer speaker can come in and warn students or adults about how drugs and vaping can affect their future and to take action. Sponsored by Junior Council Member Luna Pedrosa.
Hello, my name is Luna Pedrosa, and tab A, we already discussed this, and we did approve this a while back, but I want to hear from Sergeant Brooks from the North Miami Police Department to explain more about this initiative.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Commander Brooks at North Miami Police Department, 700 Northeast 124th Street. And I believe I was invited here to talk just a little bit about electronic cigarettes, vaping, and the effects, pros, if you can say that, and cons, if you can say that. To prepare for that, I did something just a little bit different, and I brought my 17-year-old's report on vape pens, particularly Juuls. Now, there are two types that are popular amongst teens, I guess. One of them is called the Stig, and the other one is the Juul. It's spelled Juul. Now, these became particularly popular, according to his report, because it measures about 3.5 inches. Okay, it's about the size of a USB. Okay, you can put it into your pocket. You can hide it. It's real discreet. But I say hiding. It's real discreet. Now, these things, to get the effects, you need a pod. A pod means that it's a little liquid-based container that goes into it. Without that pod, it's basically useless. Is rendered useless. It's just a little stick. One key thing I do want to note is for kids to obtain one, you need an adult's consent. They have to go to a store with someone who's an adult and sign for it. Not 18 and over, but someone who's 21 and over. Kids are readily getting them. There's a lot of adults out there, like in those movies we've watched, where someone would pay someone a couple bucks to buy, I guess, beer back in the day. There's people hanging around some of these, alternative type cigarette stores, and they're making them available. But a key fact I did want to bring up is that each pack of pods contains 4 pods, and it contains about 0.7 milliliter of liquid in it with about 5% nicotine. Okay? Now, the nicotine, as we all know, is an addictive portion of it. Each pack gives you about 200 puffs, if you will. 200 puffs from this Juul equates to about a pack of cigarettes. So, in essence, what are we telling our kids? Kids are getting these things, and my son, I had a long discussion with him before coming here. They're getting these things because they want to fit in. They go to some parties, people are smoking, and they look at it as an alternative to smoking cigarette, to smoking other illicit or other illegal type stuff, okay? So they'll get these things. Now, the way it's marketed to kids is that you have flavors. Everything under the rainbow, from coconut to watermelon to whatever you can think of, and everything that smells good and tastes good. There's bubblegum flavor, there's licorice, there's whatever you want. People are buying them, and they go there. Initially, someone says they want to have one to fit in, to go to these parties, and not looked at. They still use the word narcs or snitch or whatever, but you want to fit in amongst your peers. They buy these things. The first one may be purchased with whatever flavor you like, let's say bubblegum. The bubblegum quite quickly turns into someone offering them something with nicotine base. Okay, it's either nicotine or something other. Now there's I'll get into that in a second. The nicotine, like I said, the addictive part of that nicotine, because you're taking it in, doesn't have, this pod does not have all the harmful stuff like formaldehyde, arsenic, or tar, just to name a few. Okay, so you're getting a pure amount of nicotine. Now, if adults with all these other byproducts, they're taking it in, and they're being they're getting an addiction to it. These kids are taking the purest amount of it, okay, directly into their system. They're ingesting this stuff or smoking it, and they're getting a feel for it. They gain a love for it, and they continue on. That quite readily turns into, I need to socially be accepted again, and I'll go to a different type party, and now I want something with marijuana-based or, all these other oils that are out there. Now, we can get into a different realm of thing from gummies and everything else, but we'll stick to this. These stores are selling these byproducts of marijuana, saying that, it doesn't have the addictive properties. But if we're moving off from, think about it again, if we're moving on from something that smells good in the air, like bubblegum flavor, to something that has nicotine with addictive property, to chasing a high, or whatever they want to say, it really, really renders our community and our young people just into a habit of being addicted. Once again, someone made a suggestion that we have a 2-hour block, at least once a week, I believe is what it was.
Once a month.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Once a month. I think it's really informative. It's really informative to offer this information out there. This information. This is a 5-page report by a 17-year-old, and this is where I'm getting most of my information from. I know he was diligent in doing his homework. He got a couple A's on this, so I know it was well factual based and everything else. But now that I'm learning about it, I have no problems going out or having people come into our shop, which is a police department, anywhere you deem safe, or anywhere the kids are, like a forum like this, and we can speak about it. We can have one-on-one chats. The police department, myself, would be happy to open that up for you guys. Any questions?
You can make the DARE program. You know what DARE is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Any
Huh?
questions from the panel? Any
Mm-mm.
questions from the public? Thank you.
I think that was amazing, and I think you have a very bright son.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate it.
So this is a resolution, right?
Yes.
Yes.
After you present any resolution, who's the Semenda's the clerk? The resolution must be read, by the clerk for the record.
Mm.
After the clerk reads the resolution.
Yeah.
That's tab A, right?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes.
And then after you read the resolution, then the mayor will ask the manager if he has anything to add. Then you make the presentation. After the presentation is made, then you open it to the
The public.
public.
Yes.
You
we
see
can
now,
work it on
tab
the
A
way.
is open for public hearing. That is the proper term. Okay?
Yeah.
You open it for public hearing, and anyone in the audience who wants to be heard, then you tell them, please come to the mic. They have 2 hours. Well, we give them 2 minutes, technically, but you can choose. That's up to you to set the amount of time you give the public to be heard. Okay. Then after the public, and then you pretty much close the public hearing. Now you see public hearing is now closed. Then you bring it to the dais, for further comments and so forth.
Alright,
You want to do that?
we can do that.
Proposed resolution of the junior mayor and the city's junior council of the city of North Miami, Florida, requesting to enact a drug and vaping awareness event that the city can hold every month for 2 hours. This can be held in a community room where a volunteer speaker can come in and warn students or adults about how drugs and vaping can affect their future and to take action.
Thank you. Council member, do you have any additions, deletions to this tab?
I do not.
Alrighty. Public hearing is now open. If you would like to express your concerns, ask any questions, or express your like or dislike for this tab, the time is now to step up.
Good afternoon. My name is Duhamel Janit, 700 Northeast 124th Street. I would like to first of all commend Commander Brooks for the presentation. I think it was very informative, and I would like also to commend Ms. Pedrosa for bringing this initiative to the city, because I think it's a great idea to educate the public about vaping, because that's a way for them to start, and kids basically to start smoking something. And once they start smoking, it becomes more of a gateway kind of thing, where they started with cigarettes and it progresses to something else. And I really believe that's a great initiative, and I would like to commend you guys on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Smith Joseph, 2100 Sanssouci Boulevard, North Miami, Florida, 33181. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Junior Council. Thank you for the opportunity. I want to take this opportunity to commend the Councilwoman Luna, right? Luna Pedrosa,
Yes.
for coming up with this idea, and this is the main reason why I come up with this to have young students, young adults like you to start addressing these social issues, because you are not too young to start tackling these issues and put them out there so that they not get shoveled under the rug, because a lot of times you have things going on in our community, but there are no leaders, no activists speaking on behalf of the people who are getting affected. So again, thank you very much, and kudos to you. And what we do, and we also urge the public, whenever we have a resolution like this, even if you don't have much to say, just coming to the mic and encourage them and for what they're doing, because even in regular meetings, when we have an item, there are people who come to the mic not because they have anything heavy to say about the item, but they would simply want to let the council member know that they do appreciate the fact that they are addressing such and such issue. And the more people come and talk about it, of course, the more clout it's going to have, the more effect it's going to have. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Leonie Hermanton, and I'm with the Haitian Neighborhood Center, Santla. I don't remember the exact address, but it's on 131 West Dixie Highway. I again commend you. I echoed Mr. Mayor's comments, and I commend you for taking this initiative. We know, I just read recently that an outgoing senior official in the current administration has called vaping a major epidemic that's affecting young people at a stage where they are critically vulnerable to heavy addiction. So this is a very serious problem, one that we're not immune from in this community. And thank you again for being the voice and articulating the concerns that parents and students like you have expressed and sort of feel powerless to address. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no more questions, comments, concerns regarding this tab, I officially say hear none, see none. The floor is now closed. I will be bringing this back to discuss with my dais. So.
Well, everybody has said their opinion about this resolution. I think it's the best for all schools in general, because this would be held by North Miami, so anyone who wants to be interested about what's going on in these schools and how can we possibly stop and what can we do to be aware of this is very important.
Thank you. I definitely agree, being that I recently graduated high school 4 years ago. Vaping was very big, along with other drugs, and no one could understand how the kids were getting it. And as he had pointed out, you do have to be 21 and older, but being in this area, it's very easy to get a fake ID. And I've seen fake IDs compared to my real ID, and I'm just like, I wouldn't be able to see the difference. And especially someone that's just, oh, let me see your ID, look at the date, give it right back. So I definitely think this initiative will teach students, especially young people. We always think we're invincible and we're not going to break, we're not going to get older. And it does. It hits you hard. You know, do you think you feel like you're 20 and next thing you know, you're 45 with lung issues. So I definitely think this is great. I think this will lead the initiative to bring in the topic of smoking cigarettes and being very young. You'd be surprised at how many youth and how many people that we go to school with smoke cigarettes heavily, packs and packs a day. So I think that shall be the next initiative we can bring up along with that. Thank you.
And thank you very much, officer, for sharing that report. I think this is a very important topic, but one thing I would love to see as we discuss this is also getting to the root problem of the drugs. And I feel like a lot of what's not spoken about is the mental health aspect of it. There's a philosopher out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, also known as Jermaine Cole, and he wrote in one of his songs, it's called Friends, and I'm just gonna read a couple of the lyrics. He says that there's a lot of sorts of trauma from drama that children see, the type of stuff that normally would call for therapy, but you know just how it goes in our community. We keep it inside, and doesn't matter how hard it be. Fast forward, them kids is growing and they're blowing trees and they're popping pills due to chronic anxiety. I've been saw the problem, but I stay silent because I ain't Jesus. This ain't no trial, but if you desire, go higher, please. And he goes on to say, without the drugs, I want you to be comfortable in your skin. And I know that you still keep a lot of stuff in. And you run it from yourself and you're buying product again. And I know you say it helps, but I'm not trying to offend. But I know depression and drug addiction don't blend. So what Jermaine Cole is saying is that a lot of people use the drugs and Juul and smoking as a way to mask their internal pain and internal anxiety due to a lot of trauma that they see on the streets. So with this resolution that's being proposed, I think it's very important to tackle those issues and maybe get mental health counselors involved to see what is the internal trauma that they're facing that's the root cause of this addiction. Thank you, Madam Junior Mayor.
You're welcome.
Piggybacking off of what City Mayor Manager Jefferson Noel said, I totally agree with that, and I'd like to commend Sergeant Brooks for what he said, also with the other officer that came up and spoke. I totally agree with everything that Jefferson said, and I really believe that this resolution was a really great step forward in our community to actually take initiative and do something, because this is a really big issue that is hitting our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, as we have already voted on this, I'm going to send this off to you. Do you have any comments?
Yes. Luna, Council Member Pedrosa, I'd like to commend you for helping with this initiative, coming up with the idea to do this. You'd be surprised the number, as Junior Mayor Allen said, you'd be surprised the number of youth who resort to using drugs, and it's sad to see how that they use it as a way to cope with problems. So I'm very grateful to be able to be on this council to help with anything that is needed to move this initiative forward.
I think you did good. Thank you. So as we've already voted on this and it is passed, we are going to move on to tab B.
Tab B, proposed resolution of the junior mayor and the city's junior council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the recognition of the junior council to be an authentic body created with the vision of Mayor Smith Joseph, which has well embraced by the entire council. This is sponsored by our very own Mayor Smith Joseph.
I think we all can speak and say how this has positively impacted our lives and how we've been able to see the city from a different light. It's different when you're just a civilian, a part of the community, but when you go out and you actually do something, as I've always said on this council, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. And I think us being youth and you guys being in high school and in college, I think we're the future. We're what's gonna move this country forward. And I feel like although to some this could seem like a very small step, but for us this has been an amazing opportunity. Thank you.
This council itself was a great opportunity. Like from the very beginning, you guys asked us, oh, what did we hope to accomplish, or why do you want to be here? Well, this by itself is an amazing opportunity and experience to just sit here and learn under how the council runs, how to react, how to learn under the mayor, how to write resolutions and actually make an impact in our society. So this itself is an amazing opportunity, and it was a very fun ride.
Madam Mayor. Yes, sir. Do you plan to open this to the public?
Yes, sir. Public hearing is now open. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or any advice, or if you want to access any advice on how to be a part of this amazing council, the time is now to stand. And before I officially open this, I would like to recognize the Youth Council from Miami Gardens who graciously joined us on this beautiful Thursday night. So if you guys or anybody else would like to come up and commend the mayor for giving us this amazing opportunity, or just give us words of encouragement or any questions you have for us, the time is now. Please state your name and your address.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Absolu, 13890 Northeast 3rd Corp. So to join junior council, what are the steps that I have to take to join?
Alrighty. So I'm assuming you're in high school?
Yes.
So I'm in college. So the opportunity was given through Jefferson to the 3 surrounding universities, which is Johnsonville University, which is where I attend, Florida International University, which is where he attends, and Barry University. And we basically were asked to put together a presentation of what we believe we could do for the city. And we went around and we campaigned and we talked to people. And of course, it got a little uncomfortable because if you don't know people, it could be weird to talk to strangers. And we basically told them what we wanted to do. And for me personally, I think Noel can also speak to this. We didn't want to sell you guys on a dream. I believe in if I say something, if it comes out my mouth, I'm going to do it. I always believed that that was the reason why I was put on this earth, to make a change. So after campaigning and hearing people and getting asked a multitude of questions about the city, we were voted in, and at first it was supposed to be one junior mayor, and the mayor was so astounded with our work ethic and us as people that he offered it up. And I got first place, Noel got second place, and third place is unfortunately not here from Barry University. And that's for the first step. Now for the high schools, I can't speak to that, so I'm going to offer it to my panel to give you their advice.
To add on to junior mayor, I was asked by my school to represent ATM, Alonzo and Tracy Morning, and I didn't know what it would come, but when I joined, everything was just changed. So I suggest get to know your counselors, or just anyone that you know has a very good position in certain connections, and just talk to them. Say what you want. Say if you want to join the junior council, they'll have open ears and they'll find out when the next positions could be filled.
Yes. So the conversation behind the high school students on joining the junior council, there was conversation on whether or not that if that person from the high school should be elected by the student body at the high school, or we should just choose the president of the student government. because that president would already be elected. And I believe most people on the council are presidents of their respective student government. So I think that would be the best step to take, is to join the SGA at your respective school. And then from there, it will be a lot easier to be selected by the school to be on the junior council.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If anyone else would like to come ask any questions, the time is now.
I'm coming up as Kessler Brooks, not as a sergeant or commander, because I have a comment, and I'll use my mother's address and my first address in the city where I moved into. So I grew up living just one block outside of this fair city on the move. When I became an adult, I left my home at 19 and bought my first place at 13725 Northeast 6th Avenue. There were condos back then. But I say that to say that, you know, I grew up within and around this city, and, you know, to know that there's something like this that I could have been doing, you know, it baffles me. You know, I feel like I missed out on an opportunity, and I'm so happy for you guys. I commend you, I guess, council manager Noel, the relatableness that this offers to everyone else in this room. I think everyone can relate just on what you just read. You know, I'm not sure if it was a poetry or rap, but, you know, it was a rap lyric. The relatableness of it all, I think, speaks volumes. You know, it'll bring people in. You know, I come in, I watch you guys conduct your session, I watch you guys hold court, if you will, and I'm impressed. And, you know, I feel a little remiss. I think I would have benefited a whole lot more had I had an opportunity like that. So I applaud you. I applaud you, Mayor, for making this available. I applaud you for everything you do, and everyone here tonight who's here on their own time, everyone here tonight who could be watching TV, playing games, or eating dinner, and just coming out here. You guys all deserve an applaud, because, you know, this is what it's about, you know, and I see big things for all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Camleone Hermanton again, 3390 West Dixie Highway, Haitian Neighborhood Center. I commend the mayor again for doing this. I think that it's an incredible opportunity to incubate leadership. Many times in our community, people complain, he's not ready, she's not ready. Why does the community produce this or that leader? And this is an absolute opportunity to allow young people to understand, you know, the ethics of leadership, the responsibilities of leadership, and, you know, the sort of questions that you have, the responsibilities that you have as leaders. What I would also like to ask you, and that's something during the open session, I'm going to ask you another make another request, but I would like for you to be more available to the community. You're here, but we don't know much about you. We don't necessarily know where to, you know, how to invite you to events, to activities, because in many of what we do, we would like to have the youth perspective, and what better youth perspective than yours. So I commend you on this effort, and I really recommend that you continue to be more active and more visible in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I be heard?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Smith Joseph, 2100 Sans Souci Boulevard, North Miami, Florida, 33181. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor and Junior Council. I came up with this idea on the regular council because, like, you know, pretty much to echo what Mr. Montagne just said and Officer Brooks, I got here in this country, well, 1979. You guys weren't born yet, so that's 40 years ago. And imagine a Haitian coming over here and with nothing, and making it through all the hoops, listening or avoiding people who kept telling me that you can't do it. So I mean, you guys know the stories of the little train better than I do, right? The little train that kept saying, "I can, I can, I can." But while you can, but you need in your environment people like us, like Miss Edmonton and other people in the community who are active and look after young adults like you, because I was told many times that I couldn't do anything. When I was in Miami-Dade, in one of my biology class, the biology professor he was asking everyone what do they want to do, when they grow up. I said, in my broken English, I said I wanted to be a doctor, and then he said point blank that I couldn't do it. Why don't you look for something else? And during that time, we didn't have anything in the Haitian community. Miss Hamilton can tell you. That was back in the 80s, okay? And we did, yeah? Oh, yeah, she wasn't even born then. Yeah. So we were pretty much, just, through trials and error. A couple of years ago when I took my daughter to campus in Tallahassee at Florida A&M, go Rattlers. And she pretty much asked me, "Daddy, how did you discover this place? From Little Haiti to Tallahassee?" And to be honest with you, I don't even remember how. But the only thing that I knew that I wanted to become somebody. I wanted to be a very important part in society. I wanted to be part of the decision-making process. And that's how I made it. But when you look at our community now, be it from Latino, Cuban, or Colombian origin, anywhere from Latin America or Central America, you have different groups of active you have different groups of people who go out there and look for opportunities, be it from Tallahassee, from Washington D.C., or people who go to different conferences, and then they bring those information here to benefit young adults like you, even younger, kids, like you, and we made this information available, and this is creating, going beyond what we are expected to do. So doing this, and I'm sitting here and looking at you guys, you commend the dice. I'm already proud of you guys. Okay. By the way, I sponsored this initiative, but in your meetings, anybody can come and ask you to structure a resolution for your agenda, but no one can sponsor. Nobody outside that council can sponsor any item. I can come to you and say, you know what, Councilwoman Eliasen, this is this topic that's bothering me. I would like to see the junior council address this issue. Then you would sit down with that constituent, and then you would make your research. Then after you make proper research, get proper information about it, and you decide to sponsor that resolution for the person who came to you. So I came to you and asked you guys if you would consider putting this on the agenda, but I didn't sponsor it. So you guys have to decide, who's sponsoring this item tonight. Not me.
Well, I'm going to take the initiative, and I'm going to sponsor this item.
Thank you. And one item can be sponsored by more than one council member. Okay? Even if a council member comes on with one resolution, and when you get to the dais, remember, any member can ask the mayor, I would like to have the opportunity to be a co-sponsor. You do it, and it goes on record. That way, 20 years from now, somebody can go to the archives, and they say, who came up with this idea? And then they can say, oh yeah, this was sponsored by, junior mayor and junior council member so-and-so, okay? So for now, it is sponsored by the mayor. I don't know if any one of you going to volunteer to co-sponsor it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are any more concerns or any questions you guys would like to ask us, the time is now. Before we can continue, I would like to recognize Mr. Kevin Brown from the Vice Mayor's Office in the City of Miami Gardens.
So at this time, can we ask him if he wants, if they have any special presentation?
Yes.
Are you planning to do that?
I do right now, sir. I
No,
can
no,
do
no,
it.
It's up to you. You're the mayor.
You're the mayor.
No, you're the mayor now.
Do you guys have any special events or special announcements you guys would like to make? If so, please head. Please state your name and your address.
Kevin Brown, 3115 Northwest 157th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida. Before I go into just giving you some legislative analysts and community outreach specialists for City of Miami Gardens, first I just want to commend Mayor Joseph and Mayor Oliver Gilbert in the City of Miami Gardens for both of them having vision of understanding that our young people are important investments, and the investments that they're making now to help train you up to be future leaders of this city, be future leaders of other cities, it's a beautiful thing. So I want to make sure that's on the record to commend Mayor Joseph for his leadership and his vision. I know Mayor Gilbert is your brother on the other side, so I want to make sure that, from another mother. And so we want to make sure we make sure that's clear. One major event that we're very excited about, and our junior council is going to be part of it, is our Easter Family Fun Day in Miami Gardens. It's going to be Saturday, April 20th. I'm not mistaken, that's the Saturday, April 20th. I keep getting it mixed up with the 21st, actual Easter Day, but it's Saturday, April 20th at Rolling Oaks Park in the City of Miami Gardens. It is from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. We will be providing opportunities for high school students to get community service hours if you're looking to come out and volunteer. So again, it's going to be April 20th, Saturday, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Rolling Oaks Park. And if you need to get any further details, you all have my contact information, so feel free to reach out and I can get you that additional details, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna share that with my school.
I don't know if there's anything else. I'm getting word from the side here. Come on up, Charlie. Yeah, so I'll let you introduce you.
Hello.
I'm sorry. Council, would you mind come down and
Yes.
properly receive them?
Oh, shake our hands.
Because this is supposed to be a special presentation.
Good seeing you again.
No, all the whole iPrep set. Their iPrep.
Mayor, go to the center.
Oh, y'all doing a group photo?
Present yourself first. I want to know your names.
Oh.
So when I see you out
Okay.
there, I know.
I'm going to speak on the behalf of myself and my mayor, Charlie. His name is Charlie Smith. My name is Aletia Addison Phelps. I'm the secretary of Miami Gardens Junior Council. We would like to say thank you for inviting us, allowing us to be here. We're sorry we was a little late. We would like to invite you to our Easter event that we are having again on April 20th. So please come out and join us. And y'all actually did outdone us, so we're kind of jealous a little. So we're planning to do something a little bit better. Anything else? Oh, he can't talk, so I think that's all it.
Are we that amazing?
No, he lost his voice from Grad Bash.
Yes, please.
What about the other members? Hmm?
They're not.
Oh, they're not enough? Oh, okay. Okay. As a token of our appreciation, I think the mayor, the junior mayor, wanted to do something special. Come. He offering the key to the city to them. You're gonna have to pen them. Yeah. Pen them on the left. Hmm? Hmm? You didn't give it away? What about for your other members? You know? And also, another token of appreciation is from now North Miami CRA. You guys know what the CRA is, right? Huh? CRA stands for Community Redevelopment Agency. Yeah? Do you remember? The CRA, the Community Redevelopment Agency is like, it's simply an agreement between the municipality and Miami-Dade County, where the ad valorem taxes that we recover from the residents, of course, as you know, the ad valorem taxes on the properties go to the county. So it is something that is mandated by the state of Florida, and where you make that agreement with the county, it can be either 30, 70, 40, 60, 50, 50% of the money that goes to the county comes back to the city, and then we put it so you can develop your city. That's why you call it community redevelopment. So it pretty much goes in the blighted areas. In the areas that are blighted, that's in an effort, for the cities to make, to rehabilitate their community. Okay? So the little drive. No, you are from us. So you get what it is. Okay? So why am I doing this? You are the mayor. And I believe you are, huh? Hmm? For that?
Can everyone squeeze in for a group photo, please?
So you are the two mayors, right?
Yes.
Okay. You and sir?
Big mayor.
See, they were the handsome guy.
I get it. I get it.
I always like to have my police officers in district. Officers, can we get, do you mind being in there? No, they were in the back.
Are there any more questions, concerns, or comments on tab B? If not, hear none, see none. This tab is officially closed. I will be bringing this back to my dais to discuss. As we've already stated, I think this is an amazing initiative for the city and for all cities to get involved in. I'm currently working on bringing this to my home of St. Johns County, Florida, to work with their mayor, which would be very interesting, of St. Augustine, Florida, just to get this initiative started in different areas. So if I can take one gem that I learned here and move it on back to North Florida, I definitely will. Thank you.
Going back on what Jennifer said when she came to the podium, you asked how would you be able to join the junior council. Being that we go to the same school, I was graced with the opportunity simply because I'm our student government association president. But although with Eclia isn't the president, but she's on SGA. Even though if you don't have the opportunity to join SGA, because I know what you plan on doing next year, you can still talk to Ms. Shipman, and she can most likely coordinate you with Alberta, and she'll be able to help you, and you'll be able to join. So don't be afraid to ask.
Yes, all you have to do is show interest in this to be a part. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
All right.
And lastly, I just want to say thank you to the mayor, and Miss Alberta and Miss Boulay for giving me the opportunity to be on this wonderful council. I have learned so much about civic engagement, and hopefully I will be able to do so next year.
Alrighty, well, I motion to vote on tab B. Second the motion.
Oh, I second.
Alrighty.
Proposed by Mayor Junior Allen to vote on the tab, which was seconded by Junior Council Petrosa. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposing? Tab passed 4-0.
Thank you. We're going to move on to tab C.
Yes. Tab C. Proposed resolution of the junior mayor and the city's junior council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the support and immediate implementation of the paid internship program LEAD, which was voted on with an unanimous vote by the City of North Miami Council on March 26, 2019.
Patricia.
And this resolution is sponsored by junior council member Luna Pedrosa.
Alrighty. So we're gonna open the floor to this tab. If you have any questions about the LED internship program, which was, of course, conceived by Mayor Smith Joseph after receiving several inquiries from young adults and undergraduates seeking first-time employment, please, the time is now to ask any questions, comments, or concerns.
Yeah, along with Luna.
Public hearing is now open. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns, consider the public hearing now closed. I'm going to bring it back to my dais to discuss.
I would like a correction for the record. It was actually junior council member Ellison who sponsored tab C.
Alrighty. Council clerk, please note that. Thank you. You guys have any comments on tab C?
As someone that seeks employment after high school, I believe that this was a great initiative passed by the North Miami City Council, and I'm really glad that they were able to pass this. As in a month from now, I'll be graduating, so I'll be able to have the opportunity to be able to apply to this great initiative. Thank you.
Reading about LEAD, the paid internship program, does give a lot of opportunities to people, and to participate, the applicant must have a good GPA, recommendation letters, all the musts when it comes to interning for a paid internship from LEAD. And it seems like a great opportunity for anyone who wants to enter the workforce, and they want to learn under the North Miami City Council.
Yes. As someone who's currently balancing a bachelor's and a master's degree, I will say that internships are very, very important. Not even when what you were saying, you're in high school and you're excited about it and you're going to graduate. It's good that you're thinking about the future because you don't want to get through college and you're just like, I don't know what's next. So I love that the city's taking the initiative, taking the steps to ensure that there is a solid bridge of transition from high school to higher education to adulthood, because like I have said before, adulthood hits you so hard, and it's great to have people that are a little older that have the experience to be like, hey, this is how you can do it. And not only is this an amazing internship, it's also a paid internship, so you're not struggling to get from A to Z. There's someone to help you, and it kind of makes it seem like the city cares, and the city is a city on the move. So I definitely love this internship program, and I think that anyone in the surrounding area would be crazy not to take advantage of this. So thank you. Alrighty, I'm gonna call to vote on tab C.
I second.
Proposed by Junior Mayor Allen to vote on tab C, which was seconded by Junior Council Member Luna Pujosa. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposing. Tab pass 4-0.
Thank you. We are officially done with all our tabs. The Citizens Forum is now open. If you have any questions, concerns, or simply would just like to come up here and, give us a shout out if you have any up and coming businesses or what you're doing or how you feel that you can make a change to the city, the time is to come up now. Citizens Forum is now open.
Okay, Leonie Hermanson. Do I need to need my address to the record again, or?
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
yes, ma'am.
sufficient? Oh, 13390 West Dixie Highway, North Miami, Florida 33161. I'm Leonie Hermanson with the Haitian Neighborhood Center, Saint-La. April 1st, 2019 was the date which launched the beginning of Census 2020. As you know, the census is incredibly important for all communities, particularly for communities such as ours that are considered undercounted. The consequences of not being counted mean that we are depriving our citizens, our communities, and more importantly, our children of incredible resources. It's about $1,400 and something per person once people are counting. So we're talking about billions of dollars in services. One of the issues that has been reported by the census is that people do not count their children. Even when they're counting themselves, they forget about the baby that they're holding on their lap or junior who's 2 years old. So there are many challenges that are going to affect our ability to be counted. There's the issue, the citizenship question, which is still up in the air. We don't know whether that question is going to be asked, and we know that that's going to be another barrier to having people feeling safe to being counted. We have the issue of having to fill out the form on the internet, and we know that, again, many people in our community are, not very comfortable with filling out forms online. So I'm coming to you because this is going to be an effort that will require all hands on deck. If we're not counted well, that's going to impact the resources that we're going to get in the next 10 years. And so it's critically important that we're all counted and that elected officials such as yourselves really become more involved in the effort, to ensure the complete count of our community. So I'm coming here. We have a Haitian American Complete Count Committee. I don't know that you're all Haitian Americans, but we welcome anyone who's concerned about ensuring that this hard to count, hard to reach community is counted. And so the Haitian Neighborhood Center has this Haitian American Complete Count Committee. We meet on a monthly basis, and we're sorely lacking the youth voice. And so this request, this invitation goes out to all of you, the junior council manager, the council clerk, the mayor, the council members. You know, the future of our community, you know, really depends on you. And you know, the census being counted, it's about money and it's about power. So, you know, Ret Lapunu, it's in your hands. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can hand it to the council clerk. Yeah. If anyone else has any questions, concerns, or like to reference something that you would like for the youth council to be a part of, the time is now. Alrighty. Hear none, see none. The Citizens Forum is now closed. We're going to continue to the junior mayor and council reports. I do have a report. So this council meeting will be my last council meeting on this dais. I am currently going through some family hardships, and if anyone knows me, my family comes first, always and forever. And I have graciously told everyone individually to give them their time to, you know, kind of cope with it. So the vice mayor, who is currently not here, will be taking over for our very last meeting. I do have a couple words that I would like to say. First, I would like to say thank you for Mayor Smith-Joseph for giving me this amazing opportunity. Also, Miss Alberta, for the late emails, the late night calls, the 5 o'clock meetings, and having her stay late. She's a mother, and I can only imagine the amount of sacrifice she gives to this council. I would also like to thank the North Miami residents for voting me in. You guys saw something that I obviously didn't see in myself. You guys gave me a chance. And with that, I always will thank you. Thank you so much. I would also like to give thanks to the university that has made me to the woman that I am today, Johnson University's North Miami campus, and the president, Dr. Larry Rice, who saw something in me by allowing me to even come up here and represent not only the city of North Miami, but the University of Johnson Wells. I would like to thank my family, John Allen Jr. and Stacy Clark Allen and John Q. Allen III. My parents and my brother, for 21 years, they have supported me through everything, through every mishap, through every graduation, through every bad step. My parents have led me the way, and I will tell you guys, cherish your family. You never know when your last day is going to be with them. You never know when your last goodbye is going to be. So I highly suggest for you guys to go home. Everyone, go home. Hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them, because you never know when you're not going to get that chance to say it again. And I would also like to thank, I'm not a crier, I would also like to thank my friends who have sacrificed so much, who have given so much for me to be here, who have made me the amazing, strong, independent woman I am here today. And when I tell you, your high school friends are great, but your college friends are forever. They're there for you during your late night exams, your midnight calls, your I'm dropping out today. Your friends are always going to be there for you. And the council, thank you guys for giving me the option and the opportunity to lead. And, you know, I always say a leader isn't good if there are not other little leaders on top. So without you guys, the vice mayor and Elijah, without you guys, I don't think I would be the woman I am today. And I highly suggest if anyone wants to be up here and receive this amazing, amazing opportunity, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Change isn't going to happen if you don't commit change. And I think that is one of the most important things that I think the mayor has instilled in me and all of us. I would like to end with a quote. Most important thing is to get rid of doubt. If you got doubt in what you're doing, it's not going to work. Nipsey Hussle, who is being laid to rest today. And any council reports?
My bad. Yes, I have a council report. So during this past spring break, 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go on the Close Up Washington trip and New York trip that was sponsored by my dad and Mayor Smith-Joseph. I'd really like to thank you and the city for sponsoring me to go on this amazing trip. It was a great opportunity for someone like myself that's interested in going into politics and hopefully becoming the first Haitian American woman Attorney General. It was a great opportunity to be exposed. It was a great opportunity to be exposed to both sides of the spectrum. I had the opportunity to be able to debate with people that were conservatives and liberals. We had the opportunity to discuss different controversial issues such as gun control, immigration, Planned Parenthood, school shootings, climate change, and etc. It was really an experience because the most biggest impact that I had on the trip was being able to have a mock Congress. And it was basically the chance for me to talk amongst 300 plus students all around the U.S. and propose, well, not even propose, but basically argue why we shouldn't have Trump wall. As we all know, everyone's been discussing this, and this has had been a heated debate with both sides of the spectrum on why we should fund the wall. As someone that wants to go into criminal justice, I totally agree with the whole security background and aspect of getting or funding the wall, but the whole vendetta that's backed by the wall, it's not really it's not credible at all whatsoever. And I believe that most conservatives that are backing this are backing it because they're traditional, and it's something that you can't really change their minds simply because they've been grown up and only been exposed to a certain environment. As someone that's coming from Miami and that's been exposed to different cultures and ethnicities, I'm Haitian American, so I've been exposed to Haitians, I've been exposed to Cubans, Jamaicans, and different ethnicities, but for them, they haven't been exposed to it. What they've been grown up in, the environment that they've grown in, they haven't had the chance to actually be empathetic to certain issues that are dear to our hearts. So it was a really great experience to be able to debate with people that don't actually have that background to actually believe why they should argue or vote for such a great initiative. So thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any reports?
Alrighty. Do you guys have any reports? Do you report? Yep.
Thank you very much. Again, I'd like to thank Mayor Smith Joseph for creating this junior council. This has definitely been an extraordinary experience, Alberta. But special thanks to Junior Mayor Allen. It's definitely saddening that this will be your last meeting. I say this from the heart when I say you are the best person for that position.
Thank you.
You did an extraordinary job. Your work ethic is unparalleled, and this junior council will truly miss you. So can we give her a round of applause for all that she's done? So just quick announcement, as you all know, I'm getting my master's at Florida International University. And thank you. And so I'll be graduating on May 1st at 3 p.m. So I'm very excited about that. And on that same day of my graduation, that evening, I'm going to be having a celebration in the Little Haiti Cultural Center, and I'm also going to be revealing my second book. So I'm super excited about that. I would invite all of you to it, but I know Mayor Smith Joseph is having an event that night as well.
Yes.
So see who you love more. Whoever you love more, go to that event. But so I'm super excited about it, and it's been a joy to serve on this council. So thank you.
Thank you for your congratulations. And congratulations. A master's is a great stature. Hope you'll be going to get your doctorate next.
We'll see.
We shall see. I think that's it, unless you have any reports.
No reports today.
Alrighty, well, on behalf of Mayor Smith Joseph, I thank you guys for coming out on this beautiful Thursday and listening to us bicker, or like less than bicker, and me do my farewell speech. And thank you, everyone up here. You guys are some very, very, very bright individuals. Hopefully, we'll have a president. Hopefully, set your standards very high. We'll have a New York's best-selling author.
Yeah.
We'll have an amazing Navy sailor. So whatever you guys do it well. So, like I said, remember, we are a city on the move. This meeting is now adjourned.
You need a motion.
Okay, I motion to end this meeting.
I second.
Motion made by Junior Mayor Allen to end the meeting. So seconded by Junior Mayor Eliason. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposing? Tab passed. Wait, no, not tab. Motion passed 4-0. I'm sorry.
You don't need all this.